Well, a good Friday morning, everybody, here at PRI Show, day number 2 at the Indiana Convention Center. Over here at the Speed Sport 1 booth in 4339, and we're doing some more super late model discussion with this year's best ASA National Tour champion, Casey Roderick. Welcome to PRI.
I appreciate it. Glad to be here. It's been a good show so far, so just glad to see everybody after a long season and try to get something going for next year.
What's PRI Show been like for you so far? You've been here for a couple days now, so are you walked out yet? Have you got your steps in? You got some stuff done?
Definitely getting some steps in. I don't know how many we did yesterday, but we got all day today and tomorrow too. So I always like coming up here to the PRI. After a long season, it's good to see new products for the next year and also talk to people and try to get some help and keep this deal going.
So your situation is very unique in that you're a little, I don't want to use the term all over the place, but you've been in different situations. You've run your own stuff. You've run for teams like Anthony Campy this year where you won a championship, and you've helped some other folks build their programs. How important is this show to that entire thing you've got going on?
Well, I mean, so we have products that we use and it's good to come here and mingle with those people that you deal with all year long and just try to get as much support as you can, because this sport is just it's all about connections and who you know and any little help you can get, it helps out. So especially with running a program like ACR, your Wilsons, your Rackley War guys, they put a lot of people out there, and to have products involved with your program, it's important. So it's good to be here and connect with everybody and try to make as much connections as possible.
Certainly connections, people, relationships make this entire thing go around. You've had some good relationships in your career so far, and a lot of them led to this year where you ended up in a situation where you were facing a championship. And a year ago at that point, you guys, the wheels kind of fell off, so to speak, with the way the sponsorship worked out. And a lot of folks felt like you had the shot to win the first title. Year number 2 of the ASA Tour, you guys came out like gangbusters. I mean, what was it like this year to be as good as you were and then, strangely enough, only go to victory lane in race number 8?
Well, I mean, we had several wins. I guess only one, I guess just one race in the ASA series. But I think we had, at the end of the year, 4 or 5, maybe 6 wins through pro and super. It's in today's race, and it's really, really tough. Competition's really stout. Everyone's so close these days. You have to be on your game, and I feel like all year long we were the top guy. A lot of the time, just we couldn't close at the end of these races sometimes, and we started hitting on some things there towards the end of the year that changed our program tremendously. But anytime you can squeeze out a win, it has a lot to do with luck. Everything has to line up perfectly these days to bring home a victory. But very proud of what we accomplished this year. You may not have as many wins, but consistency means a lot in our sport. So I think we had that. I think we had one race that was pretty bad, and that was the first Blizzard race, the first ASA race at Pensacola. So I think I finished 12th, and then from that race on, I finished no worse than 6th place. Never fell out of a race. We had opportunities to fall out. Winchester was probably my worst race as far as that. Blew 2 right front tires, hit the wall both times, and then had motor issue. So they fought hard on that red flag at Winchester and got me back out on the motor issue. Thanks to Robbie White for that. He was there with us, and I don't think we could have got back out there without him there. So that was pretty cool. And he told me after the race that's the first time he's ever had to do something like that during the race. So, but you race enough, you're gonna run into things that happen like that. So Just glad it all worked out for this year and come home with a title.
You talked about, you caught yourself. You said, well, we only won one race. You're right. You guys have had a lot of success in the regional ASA series, the ASA CRA series in the Midwest, the ASA Southern Super Series down in the Gulf Coast region, and then obviously the ASA National Tour. Explain to somebody how different that competition is when you go from the regional series, as strong as they are, and you've won plenty of races in those this year, to that national level where you guys only got the one tour win, but as you said, exceptionally consistent to get the championship. How different are the regional series to make that jump to the national tour?
Well, I mean, you're on a touring series that goes all over, and the guys that you're competing against are very tough. They have, you know, money behind them. They have the equipment. They have the right people, and that's what this sport's coming to in short track racing now is having everything in place that you need, team wise, car wise, and the backing to do it. It makes it very tough, and when you can come out with a title at the end of the year, it's pretty special. So I think short track racing right now and you know, the racing world, I feel like the competition level is you know, very tough. You know, we have guys that come down from NASCAR to compete with us, and you know, they're not always on top. You know what I mean? So it's a very tough deal, and it's not taken very lightly from our standpoint.
And I would agree with. Of course, we're talking with Casey Roderick, ASA National Tour champion here at the Speed Sport 1 booth, 4339 of the PRA Trade Show. And let's talk a little bit about those Cup guys that come down, especially at Hickory this year. There was a field full of them. I mean, you had Josh Berry in the field. Chase Elliott was in the field. There were some other NASCAR prospects in the field. And you guys ran very well, had your own struggles, of course, and then was able to recover from those. What do you think makes it so hard for a guy at the top of the game in the Cup Series to come run the ASA National Tour?
I think what you're seeing is people that have worked in the industry a long time. It's got a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, are coming down and, you know, setting another standard for us short track racers. And a lot of the technology is trickling down to us. And so our cars are getting better. And there's a lot of talent in short track racing that'll never see the opportunity of going any further than that. And I say it all the time. There's people out there right now that I'm speaking of that I don't know who they are, but they're out there that's better than me, better than everyone in the field, but they'll never get the opportunity. And it's you know, it's sad, but it's just the way our sport is. And like I said, it's all about connections and who you know and get that right deal going. But since I became a part of Team Platinum, Miss Mina, I guess 2.5 years ago now, changed my racing career. Without her and her family support me and doing what they've done the last 2.5 years, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys. So very thankful for them, and I hope we can continue that relationship and you know, build this thing up to where we can be a force in short track racing.
You talk about how a lot of this has changed and how there's so much an opportunity. ASA has done a very good job of adding more opportunity to everybody, drivers like you, your team. I know they're working really hard on making it better from an ownership perspective, from a team perspective, to give back and make sure that there's something there as an incentive to have you guys there every week and competitive. They've done a lot with the drivers. What was it, $800,000 they paid out this year? And by all, I mean, there were races added to the schedule, so you would imagine that number is going to go up in 2025. How important has that been to race with a series that really tries to make sure that you guys get as much as you can, whether it's contributions from Track TV, a Speed Sport affiliate that helps push back from the subscription side and some of the money that comes in from that, or just the exposure, what the other sponsors bring in? How important is it just to run in ASA where they're trying their best to look out for guys like you?
Well, from my standpoint, I should do a better job of social media. I've never been on top of the game with that deal. So,
okay, so hold on. So let's start now. So what's your preferred social media?
Well,
there got to be at least one. Even if you're on there once a month, it's your preferred one.
Well, I guess Facebook would be the one that gets posted the most from my name.
Okay, all right.
I don't
what
do
we
it
look
myself,
up?
but
We look up Casey Roderick Motorsports on Facebook.
yeah, that's it.
Okay, so there you go. So there's step one. So everybody go follow Casey Roderick Motorsports on Facebook. Step two now, you got to have a content plan. We're going to give you this. You can put that on your Facebook. How's that?
That's right.
Okay.
That sounds good.
See, we solve problems here. That's how this rolls. That's good. But we can follow you on social media, but they do a good job. Obviously, drivers have to do their own part as well to help take advantage of that. But I feel like they've done a good job to help you guys, give you that foundation to be able to launch things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And where I was going with that is I think us short track racers need to do a better job of every race we go to, we need to promote it better. If you look at the dirt side of things, man, they've got it going on. There's a lot of excitement involved, and I think the drivers, the teams have a lot to do with that, creating that excitement. They have a great platform for their series and all, and I think it's just promoted very well. And we have a lot of great promoters in asphalt racing, but I think us teams and drivers need to help with that as well. So, and I'm saying this, I'm looking from the outside in here on a social media level. I need to do a better job myself. So that's my goal for this year, to try to help create some excitement. I mean, if you look at all my races, I think out on the track, I create some excitement, and just my driving style is different than some, but I feel like I do a good job at the end of the day.
I think you do a great job behind the wheel. There's no question about that. You got a trophy sitting out there in the hallway with your name on it. You get later tonight during the banquet. And, I think you're right. ASA, that's one of the things that they've done a great job of. It's only been 2 years old now, but of trying to help build that buzz back when the brand was very popular a number of years ago. I think they've done a great job having drivers like you and teams like you've been working with. Obviously, that certainly helps, and I have a feeling you'll see that continue to ascend up as they've done in 2 years. I've seen some great movement from ASA and the Track Enterprises gang. They've done a great job. So what else you got planned for the PRI show? You got another day and a half here.
Well, we're just going to keep walking around, and I mean, you can never cover everything here, it seems like, because you stop at one booth, spend sometimes over an hour, 2 hours, talking, and so it's there's a lot of great products out here, great innovation here. You sit here and walk around like, man, that'd be nice to have, but man, everything's so expensive these days, so you gotta pick your battles with that. So, but no, it's a lot of fun, and just glad to be here.
What was the old saying Banjo Matthews had? Money costs, or speed costs money. How fast can you afford to go? It's never changed from day one. Nonetheless, we're glad to have Casey Roderick with us here. Spend a little time at the Speed Sport 1 booth. He's going to take off and do some other things. But thanks for joining us. We've got more guests coming here at the Speed Sport 1 booth, 4339 at the PRI show here at the Indianapolis Convention Center.